iSCAR presents the Peter Genny Graphics Design Series for the Rockingham 125, getting set to go green in just a moment, here in just about 5 minutes. Welcome here live, my name is Ezeckiel Reyes.
And I'm Dewey Schramm. Welcome back to the Rock.
One of the tracks that NASCAR doesn't really race on anymore, but we're glad to present to you here on the virtual side of things as we get set for the green. 125 laps going to be ran here for tonight. We'll take a look at point standings on where everybody stands. Currently, everybody in the top 7 are all chasers. Ryan Kendrick in the number 65 currently leads points.
However, those asterisks next to names mean those are drivers no longer in the league. So Jake Sylvia, despite advancing to the round of 7 after last week at Phoenix, will not have the opportunity to win a championship here this season. So it's really a round of 6 here tonight. So the drivers that are in the chase still have one less driver to worry about in terms of points for this race and the next one.
But still, it's every race from this point forward is going to be really, really important because, of course, we're coming down to the final 4 here just momentarily. So, otherwise than that, I guess just 6 drivers going to duke it out for 4 spots. So one of these 6 drivers, unfortunately, they're not going to come home. 2 of them are not going to be there at Homestead. Take a look at all the standings here on the top of your screen as you get set for the green flag just momentarily. Not a lot of drivers here for tonight, of course. Not a lot of people on Rockingham. And yeah, look around the racetrack. Glenn Bunder, number 98, up around.
Should be a pretty interesting race despite the there not being that many people.
Right, we had some interesting races with like not a lot of people, of course. We had one at Atlanta that went obviously fantastic.
Green all the way, yeah. I was about to mention that.
Maybe we might have one yet again here tonight, because the 19, or I'd say 18 drivers here for tonight. Our 19th driver, Casey Drake, is disconnected from the session. Not going to be one of the contenders here for the win.
It will be interesting though, because unless anyone did any of the league races here or any hosteds or whatnot, this is probably going to be the first time these guys have been on Rockingham with the new tire model. And Rockingham used to be a real tire eater back in the day.
Right.
So we'll have to see with the new tire model and the way this track eats up tires, if there's any, how the drivers are able to manage their tires and hopefully get them further up in the finishing order as a result.
Right, definitely. I agree on that because here at Rockingham, the last time official was here was actually a couple weeks ago in the RTP series, but I was in the truck. But we're here with a shorter spoiler Xfinity machine, bit higher horsepower and less downforce, creates for a bit of interesting variables here for tonight. So hopefully some people might take their skills from what they learned in RTP and apply it here tonight.
Yeah, like you said with the with RTP being trucks, we'll have to see. I mean, there's only so much you can take over, just as you said, just the amount of differences there are in the cars themselves.
Right.
But experience is experience nonetheless.
That's very true. So get ourselves set. Currently less than a minute remains in practice. Aaron Mulrooney in the number 2. Currently sitting on top of the board as of right now. Derek Smith sitting in 4th place for all you Smith suckers out there. I guess
those are some nice shoes.
Yeah. Where are they?
There they are.
Yeah.
Very fashionable.
Alright, we're gonna scoot ourselves to the side and play the national anthem. Rise out, remove your hats as we salute our nation's colors. Hey, welcome everybody back here live for the Rockingham 125, getting set to go green on round number 18 out of 20 for the iSCAR Peter Getty Graphic Design Series. I'm Ezeckiel Reyes, joined alongside Dewey Schramm. So, currently qualifying underway. But before we dive deep into where everybody is standing right now, Dewey, take us in with the weather.
Meteorologist Dewey Schramm with your Rockingham race day forecast. Your current temperature is 75 degrees with a partly cloudy sky. Air temperature, the track temperature is a real scorcher here tonight, 108 degrees. So on top of the new tire model and on top of Rockingham eating up tires, it's going to be a scorcher for those tires on track. A lot of rubber going to be put down. Humidity at 1%, very dry air here. And the winds are coming out of the southeast at about 4 miles per hour as they shift to the east here, but we're almost ready to drop the green flag, and we're here for a good one here tonight. Back to you.
Yeah, definitely. Some good conditions here for tonight. Where everybody's... And with these qualifying conditions, of course, that track temperature fairly hot. But luckily, with this new tire model, the track surface isn't too... track surface doesn't affect how these tires slip throughout the corner. It's about how much rubber is laid down on the racetrack. I think they're going to fix that in the hot fix on Monday. Hopefully. That'd be cool. But otherwise than that, yeah, getting set for the green here just momentarily.
And you can keep hoping for your surface model.
Yeah. Multi-groove, please. 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 Please, man. One day. We'll go through our standings here on the left-hand side of the screen. Currently, Christopher. Fucking crap. Christopher Weil is sitting on top of the board in that number 41 machine. Obviously kicked out from Orcs, Friends of Kermit.
A very sad day.
Very sad day, yeah. I tell you what, he's moving to 408 Racing. Daria's gonna pick up a good driver.
Yeah, Weil's been close a couple times in the last few weeks, especially those 2 races at Charlotte,
right,
where he got wrecked and was really competitive in both of them. So maybe, just maybe, tonight's the night for Chris, but we will have to see.
And since we don't have a big field here for tonight, just only 19 drivers, you're gonna run 125 laps. Not a lot of people are qualifying as of right now. If we had a bigger field, we'd see all sorts of people fly throughout the racetrack, but yeah, not a lot to talk about. Get the race up and away and find out on who comes out. Gonna come out on top.
Another look at points here. Harry Grindle, we had just had the camera focused on the first car out. However, despite Jake being removed, was not added into the chase, unfortunately, as we see some more nice shoes and fashionable fire suits. But despite missing out on the next round just by a bit, still a good season overall for Harry, and I expect bigger things for him next season.
Definitely. Get ourselves set up for the green flag. We're going to go ahead and pull up the grid order here for tonight. Starting front row, looks like it's going to be Christopher Weil and Cody Webster in the number 45.
Row number 2 gives us 2 round of 6 chasers. Derek M. Smith in 3rd and Aaron Mulrooney in 4th.
Row number 3 going to consist of Harry Grindle and Nick Miller in number 9 machine.
And in row 4, we've got the 65 of Ryan Kendrick, your points leader, coming into tonight, and the 117 of Kenneth Bueno.
Loa Hankins and Glenn Bundren. Bundren picking up that Truck Series win after a big fuel-saving strategy by him. Of course, Kiloa, not a contender here this Final Four. Where's the order? Oh, sorry, you can go ahead. I guess
we might as well. It's a short field, but
right.
Row 6 got the 96 of Brandon Sampson and another 90s driver, Connor Brandon, the 92 in 12th.
Row number 7 going to be consisted of Keaton Jones in the 77, Josh Patterson in the 02 starting 14th.
Row 5, I almost said row 15. Row 8, the 87 of Casey Drake, who is starting 15th, and 2 is outside the 79 of William Schmidt.
Row number 9 going to be Jackson Menchie and Corbin Collins, and then number 71. I think Corbin just joining in late. So, yeah.
And rounding up the field in row number 10 will be the 00 of Matthew Klein. As Casey Drake was in the session but did disconnect, so Matthew will be all by himself in the back to start.
Race analysis shown on the bottom right-hand side of your screen. 125 laps, 125 miles. Pit windows should be about 40 to 45. Pit road speed is 40.
Bit of a tough pit road to get onto.
Right, definitely. It's a bit weird. Is that a weird angle?
With how much the banking, or how steep the banking is, and how relatively slow of a pit speed you have to go, you might see a couple drivers miss pit road here at some point in this race.
Right. Find out how that'll all turn out as yeah, looks like the pace car is coming onto pit road. Let's get ready to go racing here at the Rock. The green flag is out. Christopher will lead it to green.
Didn't get a very good start though. Mulrooney got a really good jump up on the outside. Not enough to come down and clear, but he might be able to out of 2 as Chris gets pretty tight there.
Of course, colder tires playing into effect. Look at the number 70, the man who came out of Ireland. I mean, not Ireland, the United Kingdom. Working himself inside that top 5, looking down for 4th. He's on the number 9. Oh!
And can Nick hold on to it? Yes, he can. What a save for Nick Miller early on here. Wow.
That was wild. Harry got real tight on entry and nearly slid up into that number 9. Harry's in a bad position on that bottom line. Not where he wants to be. They're jammed up 2 by 2. Look at 3 wide. How about Brandon Sampson gonna take it to the bottom? Might have a wreck.
Can't quite make the pass, but I'm not sure who that green car is. I think that's the 92. Whoa! Uh-oh. Couple cars in the wall. Yeah, 2 guys got the wall there. I think Chloe Hankins right there is one of them.
Right.
So Mulrooney continues to lead here. As here comes Keaton trying to get by the 98 of Glenn Bundren. Keaton, one of your 6 remaining chasers instead of 7. Running a proximity scheme here tonight.
Below with really early damage on that right side, but still making some headway through. It's now up to 11th place, but that right front is very essential, especially at a track like this where it's banking's very steep. You're turning that car a lot.
Yeah, unfortunately, that may not be the last time Chloe ends up in the outside wall here tonight, especially out of turn 2.
Flies are on that number 2 of Aaron Mulrooney as he works out to the front stretch. And not a lot of drivers here for tonight. Try to focus in.
I just realized that Cody Webster didn't start the race.
Right.
As Mulrooney got that huge jump on the restart, but he was supposed to start 4th, so with Cody not gridding up, Mulrooney ended up starting on the front row instead and was able to rock it off the start. Field's pretty much spread out already, as only 2 drivers are within a second of the leader, and then Nick Miller in 4th about just over 2 seconds back, so pretty much single file all the way through so far.
Currently sitting right around 2 seconds behind that leader. But Miller, of course, with that big slide in 1 and 2, I don't know if that affected the tires a lot. We'll have to see once they start getting deeper into that run.
I think they're coming up on might have been a slower car that I saw, I don't know. Either way, Mulrooney's been the class of the field so far tonight after these first 8 laps, but don't count out that 41 quite yet. He's gained a couple tenths in the last few laps, so Chris, despite getting the pole, and hasn't led a lap yet, but still within reaching distance.
Currently up front, it's Toyota, Ford, Chevy, and Toyota again. As here we go, pass for 5th place. Connor Brennan makes some headway. He works himself to the low side, takes that position.
Something happened to Glenn Bundren. He's shown 2 or 3 laps down, though. I'm not
Yeah.
sure if he disconnected or if he hit something, but
Like a
he was
disconnection.
inside the top 10. So we're down to, I believe, 16 cars on track now with Glenn no longer on it. So this is almost seemingly a carbon copy of Atlanta so far.
Right. That's
Atlanta, yeah, Mulrooney dominated Atlanta and picked up the win, and he's dominated so far tonight, so I'm sure Aaron wouldn't find a carbon copy of Atlanta.
Yeah, especially as a chaser. You got to perform right now, and of course that number 2 is performing like he has to. Keeping that number 2 up front, as long as he gains a handful of points, we'll have a shot getting into that final 4.
Yeah, with the entire field all at 3,000 points except for Ryan Kendrick, who has 4 bonus ones. If you mess up or end up in an accident here tonight, you'll end up in a real points hole going into next week for the cutoff race. And the location of that race is slipping out of my head. But with the whole field bunched up this much, there's no room for error whatsoever. And these points that Aaron's getting right now by leading laps are going to be crucial for the rest of the chase.
Next race we're going to go to is going to be at Chicagoland. The last time we entered in Chicagoland was in the Cup Series, and Mulrooney wrecked out of that race. So
and out of the Cup chase.
Right, that's very true. Board with Derek M. Smith, get some stuff through. I don't know what his laps. I don't know what laps he's hitting. See it on the bottom right. Last lap.
About a 24.4 last time.
A solid, I guess, half a second fall off.
Almost, yeah. We'll have to see what Chris's lap was since he won the pole. Yeah, 23.84, and he ran, so yeah, about 4/10 fall off so far, but with the pit window being at about 40 laps, still, we're just under halfway through this fuel run, so I would expect more fall off as this run goes on.
Right.
Probably almost down a second in terms of lap times by the time these guys all come down and pit.
And that just reverts back to your first point. This track eats up tires in a hurry, and everybody has to stay as stable as they can. As you see, Matthew Klein has actually hit pit road. 00. Looks like Klein,
he's 4 laps down. He's been there for a while.
Looks like
I think he just called it quits. Yeah. So 15 cars left on track now, all of which are on the lead lap. So a very small field tonight, which, of course, a lot less chances for incidents with this few cars. But again, not necessarily a bad thing.
Christopher slowly sneaking up to the backside of that number 2. He's staying in pace, but has yet to have the chance to pass for the lead. We'll scroll through the field and see who else is duking it out. Looks like the 65 of Ryan Kendrick washes up the racetrack. That's the 77 of Keaton Jones, who wants to take a peek to the low side. Kendrick sort of running the middle side of the racetrack. They get a diamond arc off the corner, but number 77 of Jones is sneaking fast.
Well, you see that bumper sponsor on Ryan Kendrick, Van's off the wall. He's got to keep that car off the wall if he wants to advance on to the next round of the chase, but after the first 19 or so laps, he's done a pretty good job of that.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know where he started, honestly. He started himself all the way back, looks like 7th place. Only gained 1 position right now, but keeping himself consistent. Consistency will pay off as long as you keep yourself inside that top 10 window.
So about halfway through this fuel run now as Keaton gets on the apron right there a little bit, but yeah, we should, like I said a few minutes ago, we should start to see a lot more tire wear now, especially towards the lap, mid-30s or whatnot, but Field's pretty spread out now, too. Not a lot of battles going on.
Last person on the lead lap is Josh Patterson, number 02. Looks like a bit of right side damage on that machine. And if you hit that right side, you hopefully won't knock out that toe very far.
Yellow flag is out.
Looks like we will have our first yellow flag of the day. And it's going to be Connor Brandon.
Doesn't look like he has that much damage, but we'll have to see what happened here.
Fortunate for him, because he was running 5th at the time. Ooh.
Oh, I think he got the outside wall.
Did, and he came to a grinding halt.
Fortunately, he didn't hit the inside wall, though. Or do what Carl Long did here way back in 2004. That'd be bad.
Oh, yeah, I remember that wreck. Yeah, that was pretty horrible. Was it Robbie Gordon who got up on his side as well in that race?
I'm not sure, but for those that don't know, the very last Cup race here, way back in 2004, where Matt Kenseth beat out Casey Kane in a photo finish, Carl Long ended up barrel rolling down the backstretch here. So hopefully nobody in this race has that same fate, but you never know. Got 101 laps to figure out if it happens or not.
Jackson Menchie stays out. I don't know if he's just staying out just to lead a lap, but we'll go ahead and hit a big reset button. Everybody's going to be on the same fuel and tires. Pretty sure it's going to be a four-stop strategy, and off a pit road first.
This is a huge race. A lot of cars really close together come out of the pits. I think Keaton gained a couple spots. I believe he beat out the 9 of Nick Miller off of the pit lane. So a solid stop for that 77. And as of now, that's 2 more points for him towards his chase bid as well.
Jackson Menchie is going to go ahead and hit himself on pit road. Menchie get to return to victory lane after his big win in the Xfinity Series at Dega last season.
Probably the most, one of the best finishes ever in this league. As he won the race going backwards. Not a lot of people can say that, but yeah, Jackson's been waiting a long time for another win since then.
Already 1 to go since we didn't have as many wave rounds.
Yeah, Jackson's going to have to catch up to the field. The pace lights are off. He's going to have to hurry up or else he'll miss the start.
He's in the middle of pit road, so it's going to be a while. He's actually spending a lot of time on pit road, but here we go, getting set for the green flag. Number 2, Aaron Mulrooney will lead the field to the first start, or for the first restart, excuse me, of the evening. Go back racing here at Rockingham. The pace car slides itself on in. The 2 will hit the throttle. Looks like he said he's gonna like the throttle a bit late.
Flag.
Got him a great start though. And it looks like Derek's going to be able to get by Chris for second, so a vital point. You see now Jackson's coming off the pit road, but a vital point there for Derek. Even 1 point with the whole field tied, besides Ryan, even that 1 point can make the difference.
All eyes are on this battle for 4th place as Keaton Jones makes some headway through the bottom side of the racetrack. Miller, big pinch right there. Near contact between the 2 as they work themselves into 1 and 2. Oh, looks like the 9 had to get off the throttle because he was about to hit the wall, but 77 on that bottom side, and that's where you want to be on this racetrack, especially with the broken surface model. Jones will take the spot.
I knew you were going to mention it at some point.
Yep, of course, I had to. Usually, Rockingham's multi-groove.
We've got a bit of a chaser train going on here. Keaton and Nick battling it out, but look at Ryan Kendrick right behind these 2 as he's the points leader, as he's the only person that has more than 3,000 points. He's got 4 bonus ones, so Ryan's got to use those to his advantage and make sure he holds on to that slight lead going into next week.
Sort of losing a couple of spots right now as he loses it to the number 71 of Corbin Collins, 96 of Brandon Sampson.
Might lose another one right here.
Yeah, now William Schmidt's making some headway. Oh!
Oh no! And Connor Hard in the inside wall.
Yellow.
And the caution will come back out again as Connor has ended up being the cause of both incidents so far tonight, and that was a huge hit he took. Yeah, I think something might have happened to Kendrick. He was just dropping.
Kendrick was just stuck on that outside line, and
I think Connor might have just gotten. Oh, I think he just caught him at the wrong place.
right.
Connor had a big run out of 2, and Kendrick was just so much slower. And both went for the same real estate, and Connor definitely got the worst of that exchange. And that might be the end of his night.
Fortunately, it is. See who hits pit road. Looks like Wheels plan to hit pit road. Wow.
A lot of them are. Oh, Keaton fakes them out.
But he's the only one who really faked him out, and everybody else is going to hit pit road, and that's going to be 4th place. I mean, that's going to mean everybody from 4th on back will hit pit road, so.
Yeah, your top 3 on the restart will be all chasers, so that'll be interesting. Half the remaining chase. As Chris slides his way in, that very first pit stall for winning the pole.
Pretty sure it's going to be another 4-tire call for well, never mind. Miller electing for 2 tires. Honestly, the amount of people out on the racetrack, I'd expect everybody to slap on 4.
Nick Miller and taking 2 tires is a very interesting combination because we've seen it quite a few times this season. In some cases, it's worked out for him, and in some cases, it's backfired completely. So we'll have to see how it works out for him here tonight.
This means the 13 cars now on the left on the track. I
think Jackson might have disconnected as well. He's 6 laps down now.
Right, he did. Kept himself on track. I'm pretty sure he would have caught a lucky dog.
He was running okay. He was maybe just didn't like the track that much.
Right. That's sort of a semi-trend, I guess you could say, because usually the non-chasers really want to bother around with the chasers are here to finish the race. The non-chasers just here to win.
Yeah, I see the top 4 all chasers right now, and then Chris in 5th. So for the most part, the chasers have separated themselves, at least to the front for now. But we did see Kendrick have some issues, ended up part of that caution, so we'll have to see if those issues persist or if he can rebound now and get towards the front.
Yeah, Kendrick's he's gonna have to start all the way back in 12th place, but that's only 12 cars. But still, he's toward the last on the lead lap, so we'll have to see on how the 65 will rebound here for these next 93 laps. Here we go, yet again for the next green flag. iSCAR scoots itself onto pit road, and all eyes are on that number 2 to hit the throttle, and gonna do the same thing like he did last restart.
Green's out, green
Last
flag,
time he hit
green
the throttle
flag.
earlier, pulled himself by 2 car lengths.
So an interesting strategy call for these top 3 to stay out, as with the fuel run at about lap 40, these guys will probably have to pit in the next 5 laps, so they'll put them off cycle and might even get them a lap down. So interesting to see how these guys, I mean, pretty much the entire field pit besides them. But, I forgot they pit then. What am I talking about? Wow, okay. They pit on the first caution, okay.
Yeah.
Big
Car on the
car's
wall.
got the wall back there. It's Kaloa. Not a good night for him so far.
Oh man, there's close
Whoa.
racing as the O2 slipped
2
himself
by
to
2
the low
across
side.
the line.
It's the number 79, William Schmidt, trying to roll that side of the racetrack. They're side by side yet again, right behind. William Schmidt, 96, Brandon Sampson. Sampson at 96. Even though he doesn't have a lot of iRating, it's fairly good on this part of the racetrack. He's been running fairly consistently. Honestly, if he ran more official like this, ran fairly nice, he'd do really well. I wouldn't be surprised if he hits 2K.
Field's pretty single file throughout the whole thing.
Right.
Even a couple laps after the restart, Field's spacing out once again, so might just be one of those races where it's just whoever has the best car ends up winning without any crazy stuff happening in between. And for right now, that best car is that 2 of Aaron Mulrooney. He's led everything you can lead so far tonight. So let them all. Except for 1.
Smith's coming though. Worked himself, I think, whole second back. Now he's working to the backside of that number 2, Mulrooney. It's a matter of how you're gonna hit those corners. And you see there, the 2 Mulrooney's stuck right next to that yellow line. Defended nicely, but man, you see the run that number 66 got to turn number 1. Seems as though Smith is better in 1 and 2, but Aaron's better in 3 and 4.
Yeah, we'll have to see if Derek makes a move, if Aaron decides to block or not, or just let him by for the time being, but it's a risky call to make because you want to keep the lead, you don't want him to get any extra points, but if he is the better car, if you don't let him go, he might just move you out of the way. So we'll have to see if Derek ends up making a move, how Aaron will approach it.
By still saying at least a 10th within Mulrooney, but Mulrooney getting flatter and better exits right up off the corner. Mulrooney's hitting the throttle down right up off. Better than what Smith can, and playing evidence there on the back straightaway. And starting to pull now. It's been a while since Derek has been in victory lane. I don't know the last time he's been in victory lane.
I believe it was the Cup race at Charlotte.
Right.
About 3-ish weeks ago, I want to say. 4 weeks.
That was a big win for that number 66.
Yeah, Nick Miller was all over his bumper for the last 10 or so laps. That was a really, really nice finish.
Right now, Smith is keeping track of that number 2. Ourselves right up off. Pull ourselves back to Nick, 3rd place. Now, whole second behind where Smith is running. Smith and Miller, both teammates on Miller Motorsports.
See, Keaton Jones actually was 3rd on the restart, and he's now been passed by Nick and Chris for a while. And he's also now under attack from that 71 of Corbin Collins, so Keaton's car, I guess, not the best on longer runs, as the 71 might be able to make a move on him in the next lap or 2, which would cost Keaton another point.
starting to pull from the 71 of Corbin Collins. Collins, one of the relatively new racers here in the iSCAR scene. Of course, you see that R with the circle on it, signifying that he's a rookie. Nice job of keeping that number 77 and Keaton under pressure, but losing time off of exit. Now Derek's starting to lose time. Like that car doesn't, I mean, of course he's on older tires. Miller's on newer tires. I guess Derek and Mulrooney expected a early caution. Fortunately, early caution on this run. Or I guess just one caution on this run, but unfortunately in their favor. Now the 9 of Miller sneaking up the backside of his teammate. That number 2, Aaron Mulrooney, who's now an independent.
He could be a big fish in free agency, for lack of a better term. If anyone here can potentially snatch him up and get him on your team, you'd be getting a really, really consistent and good driver. But
right,
an independent for now, but we'll have to see if that changes. But either way, an absolutely dominating performance here for the first about half so far this race. And we see teammates and chasers about to go at it for second place as Nick Miller has caught that 66 of Derek M. Smith almost to his bumper now out of turn number 2. So I'm sure Nick will probably try and make a move shortly here to get another point for himself.
Miller coming here third as a chaser. I don't know how many times he's visited Victory Lane this season. He visited Victory Lane round number 1, the playoffs. He picked up the victory at Las Vegas. Yet to see it. Currently running in third, but right now Mulrooney in that number 2 is so dominant. As you said, it's a replica of what we saw at Atlanta.
Save the 2 cautions. Those 2 cautions have been really the only difference so far, as Atlanta went caution-free. And besides those 2 quick ones with Connor Brandon, we've been caution-free otherwise.
Right.
Derek and Nick still pretty close together, and the 41 of Christopher Weil is... looks like he's caught those 2, and here comes Nick to the low side, that for second place, as Derek went way high at a 2 when he... Ooh! That was almost what we saw with Connor and Ryan Kendrick earlier on. Chris caught him out of turn 2 at a bad angle, and Chris had to let off a little bit, but still makes the pass. So Derek lost 2 vital spots right there in a matter of 1 lap, or 1 turn.
Those 1 and 2 now. With older tires on that number 66, Derek is probably going to hit pit road here in about, I'd say, 10 laps from now. You could stretch the run around, looks like 40 to 45. I would expect them to stretch it around 50. Because, again, Rockingham eats up a lot of tire.
Well, at this point, you can make it on 2 stops from this point forward, as we have 78 laps to go. So the fuel run of about 40 laps, you can make it the rest of the way from here on 2 stops, but... we shall see. Here comes Chris for third. Actually, second. And Chris and Nick are, I believe, are on the same pit cycle. I believe they both came down at the same time. So, but you remember, Chris took 4 tires and Nick took 2. So despite being on the same pit cycle, that's your difference. So Nick's, whichever side Nick took, the other sides are going to be much, much older. So that's probably the difference here. But Nick hanging on so far, still a pretty solid top 3 run, so nothing to be ashamed of.
Yeah, definitely.
And definitely not over yet either.
Patterson, the first one to get lapped. The green flag conditions. Patterson's not had a great night, but he catches a caution. He'll himself back onto the lead lap. Right now, not going well for that number 02.
Yeah, Chris and Nick both just got by him as well, so Josh definitely gonna have to catch a caution here to probably have any chance at winning this one. But the way these guys have been performing so far, I don't see any way, even if Josh were to pit now and have fresh tires, I don't even think he could unlap himself on track. I am impressed though that Aaron's tires are about 7 or 8 laps older than the tires of Chris and Nick, and he's still this far out in front, so that just shows you how good of a car Aaron has and how good of a driver he is, that he's able to hold on to the lead this long even with much older tires.
Yeah, definitely. Of course, Aaron running on the RTP side of things. I think it was top or second split last time here at this track. Aaron showcasing strong talent, but right now the number 41 slowly eating up on that gap. I expect him to take the lead here soon, but if the two of Mulrooney does hit pit road, that'll open up the door for a lot of things to happen. Maybe a train, just about a chain reaction.
Well, you see, he did last pit 40 laps to go, as did Derek and Keaton, now 41. So he is within that 5-ish lap fuel window as Williams on the wall right there. But Aaron will have to pit soon for at least gas, but I'd imagine a no-brainer to also take 4 tires.
But if you were in Wheels' position and Aaron did hit pit road, would you also hit pit road to be on the same strategy as he is, or you run your own race and try to best him on the long run coming to the next run?
Honestly, I think I'd pit with him. You're within a second of him, so I think I would just pit. Because at that point, you can see what the real difference is between how you're running and how he's running.
Right.
Because if you're on the same tire strategy, then you'll really know, okay, maybe I have a chance, or, nah, Aaron's got it. But he's still pretty close, so you could probably go either way with that decision. But the only reason why I wouldn't is just because even if he stays out for the max of this run, he can't make it on just one more stop.
Right. We do have some drivers hitting pit road. One of them is going to be Mulrooney, and right in front, you see, I think that's one of the lap cars hitting pit road.
That's Kenneth Bueno in the 117.
And Chris actually
did come down.
Right.
I think that was Kaloa that just came off the pits.
Now, a lot of drivers hitting pit road. Chris came actually 1 lap before Aaron, so 41's trying to short pit and get ahead of that number 2 here for this next run.
I think Derek M. Smith also pit. You saw him zooming out at the top of the screen. He's showing a lap down, so I believe Derek and Chris may have come at the same time. And Aaron is off and should cycle back out as the leader when we're all set and done.
Brendan Sampson, 2 laps down, unfortunately for him. Don't know what happened, but it's now multiple laps down. All our eyes focus in on that number 79, William Schmidt. He can stretch the run just a bit more, and you see right there, man.
That was close.
Yeah, Patterson just taking himself on the racetrack. He's sort of a semi-roadblock, but keeping himself out of harm's way.
Oh! Him and Nick almost made contact into turn 1 right there, right as the camera panned away. I thought they might have actually hit.
Christopher, even though he pit a lot prior when that 2 pitted.
Looks like actually Chris gained a couple tenths off pit road. He was about 1.1 seconds back when he came down, and now he's about 6-7 tenths of a second. So Chris actually gained a little bit through that pit cycle. So now we'll be able to see if he can get up to the lead now, or if he'll just, I guess, level off.
He seemed a bit stronger on that. Longer run. So Schmidt moves himself out of the way from
That's
that
for
lead.
the lead. William hadn't pit yet, so
Right.
William picks up a couple laps led, but not really his night tonight as he'll make his way down. So the top 3 before they pit is now the top 3 after they pit, as the pit cycle is now complete with William coming down. So now I guess we're back to our regularly scheduled programming, and it's already in progress as Aaron's starting to pull away a little bit on Chris.
Yeah, of course, with Aaron coming down one lap after Chris. Aaron has a bit newer tires than that number 41. So Chris has to manage more on this run than he did last run.
And Derek came 2 laps before, so he's got 2 lap older tires than Aaron does as well. So I thought Derek and Chris came down at the same time, and Derek came even before Chris did. So get 10 cars on the lead lap, as William did go a lap down while making his pit stop, so pretty small field, even was to begin with, but even smaller now, as a couple guys have dropped out as the race has gone on. But the silver lining for that is, if a chaser were to have, a mechanical problem and be involved in an accident, with all these guys, a couple of them dropping out, it's less points they can lose if they were to have an issue. So at this point, the worst anyone can finish, I believe, is 12th.
The 13th, because Brandon Sampson's still on the racetrack.
Yeah, versus 19th, though, so that's 6 points that you're not going to lose now that you may have before. So if there's any silver lining, I guess it's that. As Josh finally makes his pit stop, as he was stretching it all the way out.
Yeah, he stretched it all the way out to 44 laps, so that's the longest you could stretch it. I'm hitting pit road now. Have how many laps? 49 go. Honestly, if you stretched it, if you were one of the people who came down during that first latest caution, maybe you could have stretched it to just one stop. I'm not sure.
It'll be interesting to see if Patterson could potentially, but that would be 47 laps from here on out.
Right, we'll have to save 4 laps then.
Well, I mean, it's entirely possible, but I just don't know if it's realistic, I guess. But again, we'll have to see, as Patterson does go a lap down now, so either way, Patterson will have to make up an entire lap.
Been fairly clean as of right now. Our last caution, I don't know when. More than 50 laps ago, but our race summary is going to be shown on the bottom right. Working on lap number 79 out of 125. Currently 46 laps remaining. We've had a couple of cautions or lead changes. I don't know who's hit the fastest lap.
I would guess Aaron.
Yeah, no, you're not correct. That would be Nick Miller.
Wow.
And the number 9, he's actually made himself into second place. Past that number 41, and he's sneaking up to the backside of him. Slowly gaining a bit of ground.
Yeah, Nick hasn't really been up towards the lead per se, but definitely still up towards the front. And despite not being towards the lead, he's still had a pretty solid night so far. And if the results hold up now, let's see some smoke from someone, he should have still a pretty solid points day.
Are now coming on the number 77, Keaton Jones, putting him 1 lap down. Now Mulrooney is up front. All he has to do is just sail to his next pit stop, which will be in about, well, I guess 20 laps from now. That'll be around lap 100. Unless if he wants to split this run in half, in which he'll pit in about 10 laps. Derek sure has a really big cult following. Don't you agree? We'll get a Derek M. Smith update check. As the 0-2, Josh Patterson sneaking up to the backside of him. Derek's currently running in 4th place. A relatively quiet night. Started himself in 3rd. Yeah, Derek been 21 laps since he's pit. Currently sitting 2.5 seconds behind. Behind her leader, Mulrooney, as Josh Patterson is giving him a bit of a headache right now. Of course, Patterson, that 0-2 on newer tires. Currently 3 laps down, unfortunately.
It's one of those races where you just don't have a whole lot to say overall.
Right. Of course, only 13 drivers on the racetrack. I mean, we might as well scroll through the field and see where everybody else is, see where everybody is running. Of course, Mulrooney has led just about every single lap from the drop of the green. 85 laps on his resume, sitting in 1st.
As he puts the 117 of Kenneth Bueno a lap down, but 2nd place is Christopher Weil as he got back by that 9 of Nick. Is pretty solid race for him. No laps led, but has been in contention all day. So maybe for him he'll get a shot at Aaron, but he'll have to work pretty hard to get there.
On your 3rd place, Nick Miller started in 3rd. Started in 6th, now in 3rd. Led 0 laps this whole entire race, but still floating around. He was the fastest car on the racetrack. Currently off a second of what his fastest lap is.
Another chaser, Derek M. Smith in 4th. I believe that's Josh Patterson behind him. But another solid night for him. No laps led though yet. I'm sure he'd like to get at least one bonus point, but either way, still a pretty solid points night if the position he's in, if he manages to stay there up until the end.
Ryan Kendrick started himself in 7th, now is up into 5th place. 26 laps since he's pit. Kendrick, he won last week at ISM, or Phoenix. They change the name every year. But yeah,
Not
Kendrick. Oh, he's coming down on the pit road. Looks like Kendrick's going to split the run in half.
He can make it to the end now, actually, with him pitting now.
Now, this will set off a chain reaction, and maybe Kendrick can make up a bit of ground just by splitting in this run in half. We'll have to see who follows in.
It's a very interesting call because Ryan is going to go a lap down doing this, so...
Well, I think it's a safe call as well. I honestly think it's a safe call for that number 65 with the amount of cars out on the racetrack. I'm not expecting a caution, but with Kendrick now splitting this run in half, honestly, it opens up the door for some more drivers to hit pit road. We do have some other drivers hitting pit road. Looks like Harry Grindle is going to hit pit road this time by. Kiloa Hankins in that number 72.
Yeah, Kiloa, one of the 6 remaining chasers, had a pretty quiet day so far. Not really been up towards the front at all, but has stayed out of trouble for the most part. So as long as he can just finish and maybe stay where he is, he should be okay going into next week.
Sells right up off of pit road. I'm expecting 4 tires. Fresh Sunoco fuel. It looks like Mulrooney, your leader, is on pit
There
road.
he is.
Wow. Wheel, my goodness, he elected with, I think, just 2 tires stop for that number 41. Very surprised about that. We'll have to see on how it works out for him, but here's your leader on pit road, the number 2 of Aaron Mulrooney. Shoots himself on in 4 tires for him. The man we want to talk about is that number 41, obviously a 9.08. Possible to take on 4 tires with that small time. The only reasonable solution is 2. That number 41. Honestly, I don't know how 2 tires is going to work out for that number 41. And he's still fairly off of what he ran on his best lap time. It makes himself on a pit road.
So it looks like I think everybody except the top 3 has come down now. Actually, Chris already pit, but
Oh my goodness.
and Nick and Keaton, the last 2 standing here. As Josh Patterson's strategy didn't quite work out, as he's now 3 laps down. So
What doesn't need to happen is a caution, because Miller has lapped everybody in the field because he's yet to pit.
oh, if a caution were to come out, that'd be a game changer for everybody.
Right.
Because then, I mean, Nick could even stay out, and he would really only lose 1 spot, because then the entire field would have to basically lap themselves back.
Right, but for Miller, he
Because if Nick
still has to
if
pit.
Nick were to pit, everyone. Sorry, go ahead.
You can go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say if Nick were to pit under this hypothetical caution, everyone could take the wave around. So, well, never mind that, as he's now gonna come down pit road. So, forget everything we were just talking about, as it's now been made irrelevant. But that should shuffle Christopher Weil out to the lead, as he's managed to get in front of Aaron, and he's actually gotten a pretty good gap on him here.
Oh,
5
man.
seconds.
Will just about shoved Patterson right into the wall. And now you see the gap between that number 41 and that number 2. It's a fairly big gap. Honestly, just about half a whole straightaway. They work themselves into 1 and 2. Wheel. 2 tire call by that number 41. Will it work out though? Mulrooney is definitely faster than that number 41. Last time by, he gained a couple of tenths.
Well, he's got 21 laps to figure out a way to get by him, but with the way Aaron's performed so far tonight, I would not be surprised at all if he flags him down and gets by him.
Right. And if it's 2 tenths per lap, that number 2, Mulrooney, is catching that number 41, we'll catch him around, I guess, the white flag, honestly.
Yeah, it would be about that. Yeah. About 4 seconds back. Yeah, that'd be about 20 laps. So it'd be really, really close if this rate continues as it is. You probably have a side-by-side battle in the last lap, and I don't know anybody that wouldn't want to see that.
Oh my goodness, 41. He tagged the wall in the backstretch. Enters 3 a bit weirdly, but
We'll have to see what the how greatly the interval changes.
you need to be consistent. Across the wire goes Mulrooney. That time, gained
About
3.
3/10.
Looks like Will is. Christopher is definitely falling off now. That 2-tire call is playing more of a bigger fall off. That number 2, Mulrooney. You also have Derek M. Smith in this mix as well. He elected on with 4 tires. He's aiming to finish 3rd, but now may be in position to go ahead and catch that number 2. "17 laps to go. All Mulrooney has to do is hit his marks and catch that number 41.
It'll be really close.
Right.
Derek not really gaining much on Aaron, though. Looks like those two are probably running about the same lap times, but I guess Nick Miller, at least for now, struck out on his strategy as he's almost 9 seconds back of Chris.
Right. If you're only within that leader's sight, I don't think a 2-tire call would have been viable. That's number 41 at Christopher. Had the option of taking 2 tires, and he took it. Now he's 3 seconds ahead of Mulrooney. Honestly, last time by, I don't even know how much he's really gaining. Not a lot. Yeah, Mulrooney's stalled off around that 3-second mark.
Looks like Derek's losing a bit of time to Aaron, actually. He was about a second back. Now he's about almost 2 back. He might have tagged the wall, but Derek was keeping pace, but I think something might be up with him.
See, kind of off the corner, pulls himself into 1 and 2. Yeah. It's a solid 2.1 second gap between him and Mulrooney.
Nick's actually gained about a second on Chris as well now. I don't think he'll be I don't think he'll be able to make up 8 seconds in 12 laps. And now 11, but he is gaining a little bit.
11 laps to go.
And it looks like if the results hold up, looks like we're going to finish with about 8 cars on the lead lap, and I think Chris might be catching that 70 of Harry Grindle, so that number might go down to 7 here shortly, and probably will. Pretty much a carbon copy of Atlanta, except Aaron no longer leading here. But he has gotten it down to about 3 seconds, as he had stalled out at about 3.5, so Aaron is gaining some more. How quick it takes, or how long it takes for Chris to get around Harry could end up being crucial here, as Harry may end up blocking Chris to potentially keep himself on the lead lap.
Yeah, there's Harry. Oop. That's not Harry. That, 86? I don't even know who that is in front of that number 41. But,
oh, that's the 117. I thought it was Harry, I'm sorry.
Kenneth Bueno.
Either way, though, lap traffic's lap traffic, but looks like Kenneth's just going to let him go, so no issue there for Chris, but as Aaron's gotten it down to about 2.8, so he's gained another 2/3 of a second on him, but still quite some work to do. before he can get to the lead.
7 laps to go this time by for that number 41 who elected on with 2 tires last time. See the 0-2 and Patterson get real tight, nearly tagged the wall. But yeah, it looks like a 2-tire stop. That number 41 looks to be the call. And honestly, a great call for that number 41. Take a bit of a gamble, a bit of a risk. Put yourself in position to win. And of course, Mulrooney being fast out on the racetrack. A great call for the 41.
Well, Chris's work is not done yet. Aaron has gotten it down to 2.3 seconds. Aaron is charging.
Miller passes Smith.
Yeah, Derek's really fallen off in the last 5 or so laps, but him in 4th, still a pretty solid points day though. 2nd through 5th are all chase drivers. Yeah, Chris spoiling it for them so far tonight.
Honestly, if he ran a full season, he would definitely be one of the greatest contenders here in iSCAR.
No doubt.
4 laps to go.
4 laps to go to hold them off. What is that?
Huh? What? This?
Yeah.
Oh, it's my, what you call it? It's my wheel. Sarah's catching on the bike. Like to play around with my wheel.
3 to
go. On the
go.
racetrack.
You're not on the racetrack. Whoa.
I don't want to be.
But when you race, I'm not in the booth. Sad. You're fine up here. It's fine.
Hog. 2 laps to go for Christopher.
Aaron hasn't been able to gain anymore. Aaron's pretty much stalled out at about 2.3 seconds back, so it's Harry. Uh-oh. I don't know what Harry... I think Harry was trying to get out of the way and just...
Whoa! What is he doing?
Oh, boy. Chris probably just lost a lot of time here. I mean, the white flag is out now, but Aaron definitely gained some time there, whatever that was.
Yeah, now to 1.9 seconds back, but of course, now you're on the white flag. All bets are off, but now the 41 has some clean track in front of him. Now working himself down the back straightaway for the final time into turn 3 and 4. Christopher with a 2-tire call. A great strategy to put himself in front of the 2 on Mulrooney. And works himself off of turn number 4 and picks up a win here at the Rock. Christopher Wheel does it at Rockingham.
Great win for that 41 as he's come really close the last couple weeks, but finally tonight he's able to get the job done and score the win. So congrats to him and congrats to his team on a really hard-fought and earned win here tonight. As it is thundering really loud outside my house. This is odd for March.
Odd for March? What?
Up here it is. We never get storms like this early in the year. Remember, I'm in New England.
Oh, yeah.
Either way, thunder or not, Chris will burn it down. Though the backstretch here at Rockingham is named Thunder Valley, so pretty well timed for this track, I guess. As the full results from tonight will be showing up on your screen. Christopher Weil, your winner here tonight at the Rock. Aaron Mulrooney in 2nd, solid points day for him. 3rd, 4th, and 5th, and 6th, all chases as well. Nick Miller, Derek M. Smith, Ryan Kendrick, and Chloe Hankins. Corbin Collins in 7th. Harry Grindle in 8th. Keaton Jones, another chaser, in 9th. Not the best of days for him. And William Schmidt will round out your top 10.
Kenneth Bueno, Brandon Sampson, Josh Patterson, Connor Brennan, Jackson Menchu, Matthew Klein, Glenn Bundren, Buddy Webster, and Casey Drake round out the rest of the order. We'll be right back right after this is the Rockingham 125 iSCAR Peter Getty Graphic Design Series for interviews.
coming up to the line, being chased, and it was Braden Johnson. Unbelievable finish. It was 1/1000th of a second between them.
Green flag in the air. We are racing in the 2020 24 Hours of Daytona.
They go door to door for the feature race lead here on the last lap of the race. Side by side for the race lead in the final corner at Homestead.
Down the back straightaway, 3 wide again for the race lead. This is unbelievable stuff here tonight.
Loba is going to have to be very deep on the brakes, and he is very deep on the brakes. It's side by side through the corner. This is for the win.
It'll be side by side. Davies low, Ottinger high. To the very inside is Garrett low. 4 wide at the stripe. For Audie's win here on this outside line. Neck and neck. Who's going to back out? Does anyone back out? Verstappen starts to squeeze on the inside, and now he'll try and straight line it. Goes under the apron, drag race to the line. It's so close to call.
Welcome you back live for the Rockingham 125 iSCAR Peter Denny Graphic Designs series. And yeah, go ahead and drag in our review for tonight. And the booth goes. Heck. Yeah, there. I think it's thundering here as well. What the hell? But anyway,
Really?
yeah.
Would you look?
Yeah, I was looking around. I'm like, I thought that was from your mic. I'm like,
Hey, you know what? It's thundering at both of our houses, and we're at the track where the backstretch is named Thunder Valley, so it's just appropriate.
yeah, fantastic.
It's only fitting.
Yeah, fantastic. We're gonna drag in the number 41, Christopher Weil, into the booth. Christopher, my dude, congratulations,
this
man.
one's great.
Yeah, man, it must feel great. Obviously, that great strategy there at the end to elect for 2 tires, and it worked out in the end.
Yeah, I was tired of finishing second, and I knew if I took 4, there's no way I'm beating Mulrooney. So I tried to really save my tires there after that first green flag pit. And, you know, just I got back to second passing Miller just thanks to saving tires, and knew as soon as I started falling back again from Mulrooney, I had to pit. Just took 2 and really tried my best to hold it. I saw him close up on me a lot, but then his pace started dropping off because he probably pushed a little too hard. And then I got stuck a little in traffic. I know with 2 to go, I got behind Harry, and it looked a little weird, but that's because when I pulled to the left to pass him, I actually got loose and shot to the right. So it was nothing on him. Like, he did what he was supposed to do, which was just hold his line and try to let me by. But it actually feels great to not be Chick Hicks again and actually get one.
Yeah, definitely. It's been a while since you've been in victory lane. Number 41. Obviously not on Friends of Kermit anymore. You're, I think, an independent, but yeah, man.
I got this nice unsponsored Ford Mustang into victory lane.
Yeah, man. It's good to see you back in victory lane, man. Congratulations, and a great call there at the end to elect on with 2. Before I let you go, any sponsor want to take care for tonight?
I mean, I want to thank Kealoha Hankins for keeping me company during the race. I bounced the 2 tire strategy off of him, and you know, we both decided, hey, it's worth the risk. Why not try? He tried it too and gained 2 spots in the process. So, you know, thanks to 408 Racing for kind of keeping me company.
All right, man. 10-4. Christopher Weil is going to round himself out in first after starting a pull. We'll go ahead and see you, man. Come to your next race.
Yeah, see ya.
That was number 41, and we're going to drag in the 2 of Aaron Mulrooney. Here we will go ahead and take this one.
All right, Aaron, you got a copy?
Yep.
So you absolutely dominated tonight, but unfortunately you came up just a bit short. What do you think the main difference was here that you didn't quite get the win here?
On that last green flag rotation pit stop, Chris had taken 2 tires and I had taken 4, and that was realistically the only downfall, because during that later run, probably with about 10 to go, I was starting to cut off a lot of time, but you know, there was just that pit difference between 4 tires and 2 tires, and he was able to conserve them, and you know, I'll just take our second and move on to Chicagoland.
Yeah, we saw you gaining in the last couple laps, and we were wondering if you could maybe catch up to him, but you fell a bit short. But overall, how was your car out there tonight?
Car was pretty good. I thought it was a little bit tight throughout the part of the course, especially 1 and 2, but eventually I was able to just back up the corner, and I adjusted my brake bias before the race, so I was able to basically sort of like pace myself and have good tire management and just take it home to second.
All right, man. Like Chris, another independent in the top 5. Pretty interesting. But you are, I believe, going to be the points leader coming out tonight. So how do you feel about that?
Just trying to maintain it until we get to Homestead.
Well, you're
then
doing
after that, we'll see what happens.
Well, you're doing a pretty good job of that so far. Before I let you go, any sponsors you want to thank for tonight?
Yeah, I'd like to thank you guys for broadcasting. I'd also like to thank Miller Motorsports for the help in iSCAR. And I would also like to thank my main team, Sim Performance Group, and Commonwealth Stain Painting Professionals.
All right, Aaron Mulrooney, your second place finisher tonight, and I believe will be the points leader going on to Chicagoland. Congrats and good luck next week.
Thanks. Have a good one.
You too. That was Aaron Mulrooney Jr., and we're going to go ahead and drag in Nick Miller into the booth. Miller, you made a last lap, I mean, not a last lap pass, but nearly a last lap pass on that number 66 of Derek, and you disrupted them just a slight bit and aggravated them on chat. Congratulations on a 3rd place finish, man. Obviously, out of all the 3 chases you're in, this one has to feel good, man.
Yeah, I think with the being Rockingham, not a big field, it was a lot more relaxed. Didn't have to deal with so many cars on the track, all the cautions. Lot easier. I'll say it's probably one of the best. Not best, but actually, yeah, out of the 3 races this week, it's probably the best one.
Yeah, definitely, man. You running yourself out in 3rd place, making that pass on Derek very late in the race. You elected, I think, with 2 tires there towards the end, man. It played off. What were you thinking with that strategy?
Kind of, even though my luck's terrible, but I was trying to go all the way and then hope for a caution, have everyone a lap down, and then take 2 tires if I had to try to stay close, and hoping, figure the way tires burn off, that me having fresh tires and then being like that far behind in a run that they just fall way back. But out of the top 3, the only person that did that was Derek. I think I didn't really gain a lot of time on Aaron or Wheel. I think Wheel took 2 tires too, so he was really saving those left sides.
Right, he did take left sides and ended up winning the. I mean, he not take left sides, but he did save those left sides and took 2, ended up winning the race, and you ended up 3rd here for tonight. Obviously, not in top 3. So I want to congratulate you for finally finishing a race this weekend. Obviously you're coming in here as chaser. What does it mean to finish in 3rd?
It really, pretty much going into next week, it's really just a lot easier. So like Friday or trucks and the Cup Series, I pretty much have to get like a top 3 and hope for the best on the other chasers for me to get in. But for next week for Xfinity, I can just ride, and as long as I stay, if I don't DNF out of the race next week, I have a good feeling I'll be in. So it's definitely less pressure. So I can take my time next week. Don't have to race so hard. So yeah.
All right, man. Good luck out there for your Final 4 campaign, and congratulations on your finish. Before I let you go, any sponsor you want to thank you for tonight?
We'll put Switch on the car tonight with a Noah Gregson scheme. Miller Motorsports, SPG, Christopher Wheel, because he was really kind tonight. It's fun racing with him every week. He's always polite on the track. Very respectful of him.
Our man 10-4, Nick Miller is going to round himself out in 3rd after starting in 6th. Go ahead and see you coming to your next race, man.
Yep. See you, Zeke.
Nick Miller in the number 9, and with that being rounded out, congratulations to our winner. That number 41, Christopher Wheel. Yeah.
Words are hard.
Yeah, they are. Before we end off this broadcast, Dewey, what you think of tonight's race?
Well, we kind of figured it early on it would be like Atlanta, and we ended up, it pretty much was Atlanta, but this time around we ended up with a different winner, and about time Chris got another win after coming close so many times. So overall, I think it was a pretty satisfying race to watch.
Yeah, definitely. And with that rounded out, congratulations to the number 41, Christopher, pick up the win. My name is Ezeckiel Reyes.
And I'm Dewey Schramm. Thanks for tuning in tonight for Thunder Valley, and be sure to come back next week for the race at Chicagoland. And for
I
the
heard
other
that.
Races. Yeah, speaking of Thunder Valley, woo! But yeah, make sure to come back next week for Chicagoland here in this series for the cutoff and the other races you've got on tap for this week. So hope to see you then.